Hey y'all, welcome back.
Are you not ready?
No, I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So fast.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought we were here.
Hey y'all,
Welcome back.
happy Thursday.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
I can't believe we're in April.
April showers bring May flowers.
No, it hasn't
then
stopped
there's
freaking.
summer.
It hasn't stopped freaking raining.
Can't
this
wait
month.
for summer. 1 month closer to summer.
You sound like Olaf.
I love the summer.
I don't know. I'm like,
So much fun.
you know, I don't like the heat, so
Oh well, get over it.
I need to. I'm gonna be in your pool all summer.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
That's why I think I always hated summer because I never had a pool.
Oh.
I had to go to like 16th Street. That's ghetto.
Love it.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about today dealing with coworkers.
Co-workers.
Dun dun dun. No, I'm just gonna say this now, just in case anybody from my job is listening. I am not talking about anybody that I work with now, but probably from my experience, coworkers, because I have a few different places that I've worked before.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
Now I love the coworkers that I work with now.
yeah, you got these are like all stories from people before.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I think one of my biggest like realizations when I went into the workplace is dealing with different people, right? And that because I mean, yeah, you deal with different people like when you're in high school and like all that stuff, but I don't think realized how annoying people were.
And how hard it is to keep it professional.
Yeah,
For some people.
yeah, that's just one of my past jobs. They were not professional at all.
Yeah.
And that reflected like my boss would not write anybody up, and they could be making like racial slurs. Like they could say, it's really terrible, but she wouldn't write anybody up because she never wanted attention to be brought to our department. And I just felt like it was silly, and like people, so people would get away with like murder there, literally, and just
Wow.
yeah. But I learned from working with some of those terrible people so much about life.
Wow.
One of them, honestly, this is going to sound so mean, but so true, is I learned to self-reflect because of them. Because I worked with a true narcissist, like textbook narcissist. Somebody that, I used to get so offended because I thought the things that they did that were so terrible were like to see me hurt, but it wasn't. It was to make themselves feel better. That's like when I learned like, oh, what a narcissist is, right? Like they're never going to do something for you. They're always going to do it to make themselves like validated. So when they would do terrible things, at first I used to take it so personal. And so I realized like, it's not about me, it's about them. And that was like one of the biggest things that made me become like so into self-reflection, because I never wanted to affect people the way this person did by just walking into a room, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I worked with really terrible people, and she was one of them. And I know like it might not sound like, oh, you're being mean. She has like a disorder. Like not narcissism isn't a disorder. It's just like an illness. But yeah, like I think I tried to extend empathy because she did share some things, growing up, but not that I'm saying, it was my judgment that would like make it valid or something, but nothing that, like, I still felt like this person was so privileged in life that it's like, you're
still being this way and holding that darkness, right?
And this person, when I say I think I experienced real evil in these people, like that's something, because I try to think that there's good in everybody, and I think there's like I've met 2 people specifically that have pure evil in them.
Wow.
Yeah, like I've never heard somebody basically downplay somebody else that has cancer. Like I've never heard somebody do that and then end up like getting skin cancer or like some other type of cancer, and it's like that's how I knew the universe worked. Yeah, because you don't get to do that. Wow. And have that kind of evil and possess that kind of evil and not have something come back to you.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
No, it's all right. But it's crazy. So I hope you guys aren't dealing with that. Maybe you guys are just dealing with some like loud chewing or something. But but yeah, no, I think you're with these people for most of the day. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You're with these people for most of the day. And I think it can really influence who you are and your having that in your environment. And yeah.
I think that too, like, you know, you have to be, and I actually just the other day I had to like apologize, right, like to my coworkers, because I feel like you have to recognize like when you do something wrong or say something wrong. And the other day, yeah, like I had to share an apology because I was just like, I was like driving home from work one day and I was just like reflecting on like my, you know, how I've been at work and my job. And I realized like I was holding so much negativity, right? Like that's so annoying, right? Like if you're sitting in an office with someone and they receive an email or a phone call or a text and their immediate reaction is just like, oh, like, oh my God, like really, like all of the time, right? Like, and you're just like in the middle of work and you're like, oh my God, what happened? Like, are you okay? Like, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's like not about you, like, right? Like we're at work, like we're all trying to do what we're here to do. And I noticed that that's what I was like portraying like to my other coworkers. And it's like, one, it doesn't look right on me and it doesn't look right as a supervisor to be that way when you're supposed to be the leader or a role model. Or so it made me like sad that I was like putting that like negative image on myself, like. And, you know, I had to like share that, you know, like apology with them and be able to confront like, this is what I've been doing. And, you know, I apologize for that. And I'm not one to hold a heavy space, but, you know, and you know, everyone was fine and they understood. And it was nice to be able to like hear feedback and stuff. But sometimes it's hard, right? Like to deal with people like in general that like you're in a confined office with, like you have to hear their like grunts and moans and this and that. And I think that we don't realize like how it could actually be like annoying.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. Me and my coworkers were actually just having this conversation the other day, like my current ones. And we were just saying like it has to do so much with COVID too, like how COVID changes the workplace as well, because all of us have been back there since 2020. Like we'll work from home when we have to, like we have a doctor's appointment or something, and thank God like our boss gives us like that, you know. And I know like right now the policy where I work is 3 days in, like you can work 2 days from home, but we like just out of respect for our department, we all come in, and not out of respect, we just all work better in person,
right?
So but we were talking about like how COVID times have really just made the office feel like such a heavy place anyway, right? So absolutely. Like just feeling like some days are harder than others to be there. And not that it's like we don't like the people we work with or we don't like the work that we're doing. It's just like some days it's just like, especially when things in legal, there's always going to be something like that's one thing after the other, right? Yeah. So like, but when it's just negative outside of the home, when you're home, then at work, it's just like there's just so much negativity that it's sometimes hard to have like a positive attitude in work and remember to check in on one another or to even have like personal connection with one another. Yeah. It's hard sometimes. But
and I think also too, like realizing that like, you know, you don't have to have a personal connection with every single coworker, because I think for me that's a struggle. Is just like trying to build those relationships with like every single person. But it's just like, no, it's not going to be that way. Like, you know, some people are just here just to do a job and go. And you have others who will, you know, you'll connect with right away. But I think that's something that I struggle with, is like not feeling that like connection with every single one of my coworkers.
Well, I think that's like almost how, remember when we were coaches, we didn't have relationships. There were some like people that literally came to cheer and that was it. And we didn't have personal relationships with them. And it was hard for us, I think, because we are such like relationship, you know, we're very into connections. It's very hard for us to not like process a bad connection or like make it, if there's no connection, then it's almost like it is a bad connection, right? Like I totally get that. I think, like I said, my past job wasn't professional. But But they had this motto. It's like, oh, we're a family. We're a family, which I think is the most toxic thing you could ever say in a working space, because we're not family.
Yeah.
We're actually not. And we're individuals, and we're here to work and get a job done. And while it's nice to have a team atmosphere, we're not family. And like, you know, it's not that blood is thicker than water thing. And like that toxic, you know, like that just toxic environment that, that toxic environment that like is imposed on you. Like, you don't owe me something on an emotional, like you don't owe me something because we're on an emotional level as family. Yeah. And I think sometimes like workplaces forget that. Like, I shouldn't feel like I have to overwork to prove to you anything. That's where that's where that comes in. Like, have feeling like you have to prove to, because it's almost like, oh, I have to prove to my parents, which is like my upper management, that I'm worthy, right? Like, because there's some, hell no. Yeah. So I think I hate when people are like, oh, we're like a family. I'm like, run. I don't want to work here. Run. Because we're not. Yeah. So are we a team? Yeah. Family? No. Nah. Yeah. But.
No, but that's true. Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. And then being professional. Like I said, I had a very different transition, because before I really was in my past environment, I was able to not think so much before I spoke or acted. Really, I would just be like that's fucking stupid. Or like I would really call people out because people were so terrible. Yeah. Like one time my supervisor said, oh, have you ever worked Black Friday at the window? And I was like, Black Friday? Like, we're closed on Black Friday, right? Because we're thinking about like the day after Thanksgiving. And she was like, no, every Friday, that's when all the Black people come and pay their stuff. And I'm like, girl, like, you saying things like that is oh my God. Unprofessional. It's absolutely like, you cannot say things like that. And like, it wasn't as a joke. It wasn't in like a joking manner. It was like, you know, serious, and it's like, just why? Like, and things like that would not get written up. It would just get like brushed under the rug. Oh, no big deal. Whatever. Yeah. So it's like it was such a toxic environment. So like for me, obviously, I'm just like, girl, shut like I the way I would respond to them, like I had to come into this and into the environment I'm in now and be like a professional and be like, use my words, articulate, like communicate, all of those things. Whereas like before I would just be like, shut the fuck up. Like you sound ignorant. Yeah. You know?
Oh my God, no.
It was
God bless you.
It's like that. It's black and white. It's completely different. Yeah. I have so many work experiences I could share, but that could be a series. People. All right. Well,
that was good.
All right. Well, if you're dealing with any
annoying coworkers, troubled coworkers,
or evil toxic coworkers, a toxic work environment, come share with us.
Yeah, share with us. Let us know.
All right.
We love y'all. Tune in next week.
You can do your like, comment, subscribe, review. You know what?
You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, review, download, share with a friend. Tell a friend.
These will be on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.